Hello again, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the course, and I've got your scenery up here. This is Washington State, and if you haven't been there, it really does look like this. So far, the course. Those of you that are in there, discussion's doing really good. The homeworks, some of you done the homeworks. Good, not so good, depending. But I've sent you back. You know. Some emails, and if we have issues or anything. So this is it might be a difficult course for some, and so may need a little work on it. But hey, don't worry about it. We'll get you through it. We'll go back and forth, make sure you understand it. Let me go to the next picture here. Now, those of you that have struggle with school, I'm always trying to inspire you somehow with posters or pictures and little sayings and so forth. So that little voice in the head that says you can't do it, they're lying to you. You can do it. So you just need to stay focused and don't let distractors tell you can't do it. Another little running analogy here about you don't get better at running hills by walking them. Okay, and this applies to school. There's a certain pace you have to go. And again, back on what I talk about is the everyday thing versus one day a week, or in some cases 1 day every 2 weeks for some people. That's not how you do it. That's not how you get better and learn the material and become good at it. So the other thing I'll throw out here is about being inspired. To be inspired is great. To inspire is incredible. It's a little phrase that's out there, but and again, this may not apply to all of you, or maybe some of you, or none of you. But thing is, people watch each other, or they observe each other. So, like when when people ask you how you're doing, how's school? Hey, how's that school thing going? A lot of people say, oh, it's really rough and tough, and I'm just barely getting by, can't find a time, and it's a negative inspiration. Versus the people who say, hey, loving it, it's great, I'm learning stuff, fired up, I can't wait till I finish and move on to something else. There's the negative and the positive, and so that's where it's not about people like me maybe trying to inspire you, but also how are you inspiring others to follow your lead. So there's just a little bit of self-evaluation for you, and positive attitude will make stress and other things much less. Whereas when you have negative attitude, even though you may have reason, because things are happening, but still you keep the positive attitude, it reduces the stress factor and things go a little better for you. So there you go. All right. So into the course room real quick. Okay, so like I said last week, those of you that are in there, good. Upcoming week, you got 3 chapters. You got 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so all these chapters are interrelated. And has, of course, we're talking about entrepreneurial finance. Each chapter has different objectives. Has to do like with present value, future value, different things. And again, it's important in all courses, but I'll say it in here that you're putting the time in to read the material. And I'm saying you can't, most of us have to read stuff more than once. So I mean, like you got these chapters you got to read probably, and that's why I say it's an everyday thing, because you read some today, you come back in a couple of days and reread it. Same thing with these slides. So that's one of my points there. So you got chapter 9, 10, and 11. Again, we're talking about venture capital, but different methods they have in there. And also the last chapter, you have to do with professional venture capital. They're talking about, investing and things like that. So all 3 of these chapters interrelate on, venture capital, talking about investing. Companies get people to invest in them. You may want to invest in something later down the road, or you may want someone to invest with you, give you the money. Just kind of like that. I don't know if any of you watch there's a show on television. It's called Shark Tank. Where these people go in and try to get money from investors, basically. Another example I'll use here is football. You got the NFL. A lot of people are boycotting the NFL, basically because of some issues with them. But that aside, as a company, you got They got the different teams. The Green Bay Packers are an exception in the NFL. They are the only team that does not have an owner. They have investors. So it's a corporation that have stock. You know, they have somebody they appoint as the president of the company to run it, but so they don't have an owner, and that's an exception. And that's where, and what got me thinking of that is up here in St. Louis here, there's an issue going on with you know, the Rams left, and so there's an empty stadium, but they're trying to bring in a major league soccer team here, and they want to build a stadium. So that's some of the discussions that, you know, they want people, then they want investment, including the state, and a lot of people disagree with the state or the city building stadiums and investing in them. But this is one of the options that was brought up there. I heard the other day was, well, make it public, you know, have the people invest. So I mean, there's different, and I just bring that up because there's just different options on investing and in venture capital and so forth. So all right, so that's the short version here. As always, and like I say, this is a difficult course, so if you're having problems, you know, shoot me, you know, inbox down there, shoot me a message, and we'll help you through it. Like I said, I don't fail people on homeworks. As a general rule, there are exceptions, like if you don't ever turn it in. I mean, but if you're having problems, you know, and you're doing really bad on it, I'll send it back until you resubmit, and you know, go over some stuff with you. So you know, if you're having problems, do what you can. There's lots of, you know, you can also use Google. Sometimes some of these Google things will get you a real nice, easy answer versus some of the longer answers in the text. But the important thing is that you understand it, so you know what you're looking at. You start getting, and if you get into business or you're part of a business or whatever, that, you know, you understand what's going on in the process and how to recognize it and work with it. So, all right, so the only other thing, I got my weekly test for you, and I try to find stuff that, you know, because some of you have been with me a few years now, so I try to find things maybe I haven't shown before. So I don't know if I shown this one, but this is me right here, so you can just let me know what's going on here in this picture, and that way I know that you watched it. So, all right, with that, we will call it quits. We'll go back to Washington State there, and everybody just have a great week, and get in touch with me if you need anything, and try and inspire some people. So, all right, take care, everybody.